Just here now. This video, I'm going to be talking about gold order weapons and really just a small guide on them. Now, I'm not going to be talking about any weapon in particular, just gold order weapons in general. You know, are they good? Are they bad? Like, honestly, in my opinion, they mostly are pretty good. So, but you know, which ones are worth buying, which ones aren't. Now, before I start, I want to paraphrase one thing. Do not spend gold orders willy-nilly. Like, what do I mean by this? Well, let's say you play, I don't know, let's say you play Normandy a lot. And you're like, okay, I play Normandy all the time. You know, and let's say you don't like Moscow, like me for example. One thing you should never do is go into Moscow and say, oh, you know, let's just buy the Badan. You know, just because. It's honestly just a waste if you do that because, well, for a start, you're probably never going to use it. But also, you could have spent it on something like the Hyde, or if you're in the Axis, the Gewehr 43 Kurtz. Or if you play in Berlin, you know, you could have, burnt it on the mortar. Now, I want to point something else out. Now, many of these you can see are in multiple campaigns. The MKB, the Gewehr 43 Kurtz, the Irma EMP. There's also the pretty much every Soviet order in Berlin is also in Moscow. Tunisia as well has the VMP, which is in Moscow Axis. Now, unfortunately, I really don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it used to be able to transfer these to another campaign. That is no longer the case. If you can actually look, let me just show you. So you can see here you can transfer an FG42. Now, if I swap the Kurtz out, oh, you can still transfer the Kurtz. Oh no, you can. It's only certain weapons you can transfer over. Actually, now I see it. So you can transfer over the Kurtz. But one weapon you actually can't transfer over, which what I've seen, is, I don't know how, but I don't think you can transfer over the RMN. Like, it doesn't show it here. I think you might have to do it like, it has to be a bit finicky, and you have to go into like an infantryman to transfer it over. Yeah, you can only transfer it over if you're on an infantryman, but if you're on this dude, you can't transfer it over. It's kind of a bit weird, but yeah. That's a bit weird, so, oh well. But, anyways, that being said, which ones do I recommend grabbing? Well, like I said, I recommend basically picking which one, you know, the other campaigns. But I can recommend a few, and I will say which ones I recommend. I'm going to start with Moscow first. The Badan is fun. It's fun for the meme. Okay, if you have the Badan, it's a fun meme weapon to use. The PDM is it's kind of a bit bad in my opinion. Like, it's not something you see often. Let's just say that. The RMN is a lot of fun to use. However, it's essentially a skill-based weapon. You need to have skill with this weapon. So, if you're new to the game, maybe hold out buying this one. Whereas the PPD is, it's kind of like a mix between an SMG and an LMG. Like, it's a mix between, and it's basically what happens if you have a PPSH, the recoil of a PPSH, and you combine it with the ammo and the magazine of a DP27. So, a slow reload, but no recoil. So it's kind of like a mix between an LMG and an SMG. It's fine, but I think there are better options than this on both campaigns it's in. For the Axis, it's actually completely opposite. All four of these are really good. The Gewehr 1888 is a really good black powder rifle. Pretty much just a free kill gun. The KP-26 is a brilliant SMG. It's one of the best in the game. If you see this on the ground, pick it up. It's so good. The MKB is a good carbine. Really good for clearing out rooms. It's a really good weapon. It looks underwhelming, but it's actually really good. And the VMP is also really good. From my experience from it, I've used it a couple times by picking it up, and it's actually a pretty solid SMG. And I think compared to some of the SMGs in this game, it's actually a little bit better. Like, I just realised as well from someone that the M38 doesn't actually have the 40-round magazine. That is so depressing. Oh, I feel bad. Yeah, so in my opinion, the Moscow ones, if you're playing on Moscow, these are all good. This is good for the meme. This requires some skill, but it is still pretty good. This is pretty good. This one's meh. For Normandy, the Allies ones have a few are interesting because most of these, with the exception of the hide, are just really just the same weapons you're locking the tech tree. For example, the Peterson device is kind of a bit crap. It's basically just a pistol. Honestly, all it is a pistol. With it's a pistol with long range. It's not that good. It's fun for a meme. It's fun for a good old meme. You can use it in a good old meme, but man, this thing is not that good. Do not buy this at all. I had the unfortunity of buying this because it was the only gold order at the time. And I've made a video on it. Let's just say that. I made a bad weapons video on it. Do not get this at all. The M2A1 carbine is essentially the M1 carbine. Not the M1, the AM2 carbine. It's only used by assaulters. Again, do not get this. Rate of fire is absurd. Like, it's really good. It's got a really good rate of fire and you can stick a bayonet on it. But you'll be missing out on either a Lancaster or a Thompson, so no. The Peterson rifle is actually really cool, in my opinion. It's basically a more powerful M1 Garand. It's an M1 Garand, but with 2 extra bullets. It's pretty good, in my opinion. It's a really good rifle, but I'm going to talk about it a little more when we get to Tunisia, because I think that is much better in Tunisia than it is in Normandy. In Normandy, I think, really, the M2 is just really good. And the hide is actually fine. It's a hide. It's the hide model 35, which the only real cool thing about it is the interchangeable magazines, where you can basically just have a quick reload every now and again. So, yeah, really good, but it's a bit of a discount Thompson, other than the reload. The reload's really good. For the Axis, I can't show the Gavir 43 on here, but I'm going to talk about it as well. The Schmeiser is awful as well. It's another pretty bad weapon. Really, the only time I'd say it's good is when you're using it in the early campaigns, when all you have is the MP40. It's about the same level as the MP40. The MP38 is much better than the FNAB, but it pales in comparison. When you're not the MP35, you should just drop it. The ZK is much better. The Beretta is much better, and obviously, of course, this is just great. The other one, of course, is, like I was talking about, the Gavir 43 Kurtz. Really good. Really, really good. Just, it's just great. Honestly, if you're playing Normandy or Berlin, I'm going to pretty much just say, because you can also get this in Berlin. Honestly, if you have a gold order lying around and you start playing these campaigns, pick this up. Don't answer any questions. Pick this up. It is fantastic. Put this on your best soldier. Put it with like a sword, large ammo bag, pistol, everything. Whole 9 yards. This weapon is a beast. It is one of the best weapons in the game, if not the best. For some reason, it has a really low rate of fire, but it's so good. It just kills everything. I think, yeah. I would say it's better than the FG. It's even better than the FG. I've already talked about the carbine here. It's basically the same as it is in Moscow. Pretty good, but just forgettable. The EMP, on the other hand, is actually really good as well. It's a pretty good SMG, has the whole, double mags as well. So, but if you have the choice between getting this or the Schmeiser, I would argue go for the Urban EMP all the time. It looks like crap, but it performs really well. Double magazine, like with most weapons in the update. And it's just fun to use. Basically it's an upgrade on the Thompson. It's essentially an upgrade on the Thompson. Not the Thompson, I meant the MP40. Fuck's sake. Let's go on to Berlin. Berlin's basically the exact same as Moscow. And the same as Berlin as Normandy. So basically, I don't have to say anything anymore about this. Let's go to Tunisia. Tunisia is actually unique because it has the VMP, but it also has and it has the Peterson, which is much better than it is in Normandy. It's much better in Tunisia than in Normandy because in Tunisia you don't really get a semi-auto or a good semi-auto until level 25, and it's the Grand. And I said it's better than the Grand. So if you have a chance to use this, you can use it over the Grand, you can use it over the Enfield, you can use it over both. You can use it. You use it over the Carbine any day. It's pretty good. So yeah. Oh, wrong side. And then you also have the Birmingham Standard Arms Thompson, which, hey, it's a Thompson. Oh, Birmingham Small Arms. I thought it was Standard Arms. Either way, Small Arms. It's basically just a modified Thompson. Small magazine, but hey, can't go wrong with a Thompson. You cannot go wrong with one of these. And the final one is an Italian. Is this Italian thing, and it's not that good either. Like, I've used it, I picked it up a couple times. It's not that good. It's pretty much statistically just as good as one of these. It's basically the exact same as one of these, actually. And of course, that's outclassed by the Gavir 41. So, yeah, not a good, still a gold order. So, yeah, that's really my video on these. I looked through every gold order. I explained, why they're good. And really just some pitfalls to avoid. Avoid some weapons, but if you're using, let's say you're on Normandy a lot, and you use Normandy a lot, you're leveling up Normandy, buy something like the Gavir 43 Kurtz with the EMP. But if you go on Moscow, let's say you just only play Moscow, do not buy something from another campaign unless you're like, oh, I just want to go into this campaign and really progress this one. Otherwise, you're just wasting orders, in my opinion. And gold orders are very hard to come by. You get one from the battle pass, you can get one from the gold order boxes, but that's like a 1 in 6. And I keep getting 5 silver order for weapons. So, that's not bad either, but hey ho. Anyways, leave your thoughts on these gold orders, and I'll see you guys in the next video.